In this video, I'm going to talk about quipus that aren't quipus. When early Spanish chroniclers in South America wrote down what they were told was recorded on a quipu, these are called quipu transcriptions, also called paper quipus, quipus texto, and textos quipu. There are also texts which were originally in Spanish and then transcribed onto quipus for local administration, like the Revisita and the Santa Valley quipus that we discussed in a previous video. Some Khipu investigations focus on Khipu transcriptions as a way to study what Khipu said and how they said it. There are links below if you want to learn more. A collection of Khipu transcriptions can be found in Quipus del Tahuantinsuyo by Andrés Chirinos Rivera. Here is an example from the book. It's been a while since I read it, but I think Lurin, Jauja, and Anan were villages, and I don't remember if the book says how big a pokcha is. A more in-depth study of written quipus can be found in Textos Andinos by Pärssinen and Kiviharju. Sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong. Manuel Medrano, who worked on the article we discussed in video on linking quipus to Spanish documents, he actually wrote another article with an analysis of the Textos Andinos titled Quipu Transcription Typologies. So quipu researchers do look at written records of quipus in addition to the archaeological quipus. There is a manuscript, Historia et Rudimenta Linguae Piruanorum, with 3 texts supposedly written in the 1600s. It has detailed drawings of a calendrical quipu called the Pacha quipu or time quipu. Here's a part of that drawing published in the article A Calendar Quipu of the Early 17th Century and Its Relationship with Inca Astronomy by Magli and Laurencich-Minelli. The primary chord and dependent chords with knots are drawn clearly enough that you can count the value of the knots, but at the attachment there is a square with a symbol inside, which makes it seem more symbolic than realistic. Both its origin and the meaning of the symbols are controversial among quipu researchers. There are just no archaeological quipus that look like this. It's a bit of a mystery. Check out the articles listed in the description below to learn more and form your own opinion. This is the Mangas quipu board, a wooden tablet with holes where a single cord is pulled through, which helped researchers understand the importance of ply we discussed in a previous video. Also, many times these kinds of wrapped batons have been found at archaeological sites with quipus. Maybe they were used to standardize certain color patterns for banding and seriation? Who knows? In Inca-era textiles, certain patterns are called tocapu, that are sort of a textile code, similar to quipus in the idea of communicating through symbols. They are far outside the scope of this video series, but an interesting study in Inca semasiography. Perhaps there are symbols in common with tocapu and quipus, especially when it comes to color. In Tupicocha, symbols are carved into a wooden staff, which is used in ceremonies involving quipus. There is a YouTube clip that shows them briefly, but they are discussed in greater detail in Frank Salomon's book, The Cord Keepers. Congratulations on having the patience to make it to the end of this video series. This is the last video in the Beginner's Guide to Quipus. Now that we have a good foundation of what quipus are and their features, I plan to do a deeper dive into the Open Quipu repository and the Code of the Quipu databooks and explore features like twists and seriation. If there are particular things you'd like to explore, please leave a comment below. If you want to continue your personal journey in Quipu exploration, I recommend starting with the book The Code of the Quipu by Marcia Asher and Robert Asher, which focuses on mathematics in the quipus. I also recommend The Cord Keepers by Frank Solomon to get an idea of the quipus role in Andean society. I'm more of a numbers person than an anthropologist myself, but I wish I'd read this book earlier in my studies. Introducción al Estudio de los Quipus by Carlos Radicati de Prunedillo is also a good general book about quipus to read, although it's a bit dated as it was published in the 1950s. And for digital resources, there's the Mali and Google Arts and Culture. Mali is the Museum of Art in Lima. During COVID, they put together a digital exhibit about the quipus, and as part of that, they published open and online a bunch of articles from top quipu researchers. Many of these I used as sources for this video series. Google Arts and Culture also has some digital exhibits about quipus. In Chapter 17 of my workbook, I published a very long list of quipu topics with titles of articles, books, and even a few lectures posted on YouTube that you can look up to dive deeper. For anyone who doesn't have the book, I posted a PDF file of that particular chapter on Gumroad available for free. There's a link in the description below. If you want to study archaeological quipus, quipu researcher John Quinn Daniel has a GitHub repository with a SQLite database where you can do your own research. And Ashok Khosla has posted online diagrams of all the quipus in the Khipu field guide. The diagrams used in this video series are not based on Koso's designs, so don't be surprised if they look different. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery about quipus, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy studying more. Bye!